Welcome in the Stiffs. Thank you very much to our sponsors for Series 2, Budgeon Motors. Been established for 40 years, best car dealership in Shropshire.
Debatable.
Well, we've all had cars from there. Gav, you been to Budgeon?
Yeah, a few times now.
Dave, too big time. He only wants Teslas, doesn't he?
To be fair though, they do Teslas, do any car. You want a car, they get you a car.
I just spoke to them, they are fast, to be fair.
Dave's
anything you want.
There we are. Even Dave's backed them. You know they're good when Dave's on side with them.
I've been offered 20%.
Have we sorted out the discount? Come down to Budgeon, mentioning the Stiffs, and what we'll have to sort out. What's that discount?
Yeah, about 90%.
Yeah, we'll have
just
to
don't
sort
tell
that.
the MD.
That'll have to be sorted out at the showroom.
Yeah, to be confirmed, that one.
Yeah.
We're live.
Telford
is in Shropshire.
Yeah.
Do you not want to hear about what I did
sorry,
after?
Gav, what have you been up to after?
Oh, yeah, loads. Because he's just a brilliant human, isn't he?
Sam had a week of school dinners off the back of it, didn't you? It was a bit fortuitous, the promotion, wasn't it? More of a show, so you get value for 500 quid a ticket.
We've got been better off giving them a £500 fee for it than
We're obsessed with getting naked, us three, aren't we? We've got to calm down.
Week commencing the 7th of November.
Yeah. Joe's got a niggle and Lowy's been sacked.
Happy days.
Yeah. Daniel's chomping at the bit already. So let's get you on the bench. Are you going to shit yourself or are you going to contribute? I had this with my players for a long time. Been out of it a year now. None of them have texted me.
Well, we seem to be doing well since I've left.
So you've got a bunch of Twitter warriors that basically want to run the club. So there's probably about 10 of them.
My favourite ever games they were. Wrexham. Loved them.
Good rivalry. That.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's going to be at a live event. Who I'm bringing out at a live event. Gavin van der Cowan. I'm bringing him out, mate. Of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, second.
That's
what they've been saying about us.
I think they're slightly better.
For that.
Not sure what they say.
If they don't give us a good plug, we'd delete all of that. Don't think me and Gav will make any promises. Right, welcome to another episode of In the Stiff, sponsored by Budgeon Motors, best car dealership in Shropshire and Telford.
None.
Telford is in Shropshire.
Yeah.
in Shropshire and Telford.
In Shropshire and Telford and Shrewsbury. and Shrewsbury.
They sell cars to Market Drayton and Oswestry. And all places outside Shropshire.
Yeah. I'd say more than just our sponsors, or they're our friends now, aren't they? We're meeting them for lunch today. Obviously, we're meeting them for lunch 5 days ago.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
In half term.
Yeah.
Well, happy half term anyway. How's half term been, Dave?
Busy. Kids. Yeah, I've been all over the place recently, so I need to spend some good quality time with the family this week. So, yeah, we'll be doing loads of stuff. Bowling yesterday. My lad started.
What you like at bowling?
Started well, then faded at the end. Yeah.
What did you score?
136.
That's decent.
It's not bad, is it?
Beat the wife, so
yeah.
Happy.
I mean, I normally average around 170, but that's not
depends if you've got your bowling ball.
Yeah, if I've got my glove, I normally get that.
Right,
do you not want to hear about what I did after?
Gav, what have you been up to after?
Oh, yeah, loads. We've got enough time. No, just family time and work, trying to mix it all in like everybody else, I suppose.
You've been away, haven't you, Sam?
Well, I went to...
holiday.
I went to...
This is why he asked. He wants to tell. Here we go.
The teacher in it too. We got loads of time off, don't I? We went to Manchester, the Football Museum. Really good, that. If you haven't been there, it's worth going.
Brilliant.
It's really good. And I went to Chester yesterday. It's dead.
Your boots will be in there, won't it? The Football Museum.
size 12 Cobras. There's some size 12 Cobras from the Game Meadow. Right, what about Brian Little podcast? Been well received? We haven't even checked the figures. We had lots of people listening to Brian Little one.
Thousands.
Okay, that's good then.
Love
Went
that.
down well. He was good, wasn't he, Brian Little, the gaffer?
He's good.
Anything he does, I struggle not to see the brilliance in it because he's just a brilliant human, isn't he? Like, I know that's really cheesy, but he's such an amazing guy. People who have come back to me about the podcast, I think one guy mentioned, was it a guy, Mark Scott?
Yeah.
On our social media, and he was like, weren't really fussed about Brian, having listened to it. What an unbelievable story. And then spoke to Jamie in the office yesterday, and he was like, thing is with him, we didn't even scratch the surface. There could be another podcast in that, couldn't there? When you think we didn't even touch base on his non-league managerial career, loads of other bits that
I'm probably like a lot of people. I didn't know. I only knew Brian Little as a manager from my generation sort of thing. So then to hear how good he was himself, and I knew he had to retire early, but to understand that he was like, he would have won loads of caps for England money. The goals he was scoring at Villa, stuff like that. And then I saw a picture back that we put on social media of his haircut.
That's class.
That's cool.
Because he had a fear of barbers.
Yeah.
But that was Playboy back
I don't reckon he struggled, do you?
No.
I don't reckon he struggled for a bird.
But yeah, fascinating. I find the playing side really interesting. And then obviously when he was at Villa, the players he was managing as well. It's that insight, isn't it? Just
that's
that
what
insight.
I love, like the insight. And I want to know what Dwight York was like, what Mark Bosnich was like. You see these characters, and you just want to know.
If you go to that CCTV at that hotel room, you can find out what they're all about. Don't worry about that. They were great on a night out. I think if you read Andy Gray's book, he does a foreword in it. He mentions the gaffer in it, doesn't he? And he just speaks really highly of him. Says he's the best player he ever played with.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
amazing.
But yeah, if you see, I'm not sure if he's got multiple books out, but one of his books, the foreword is that. But everybody just speaks so highly of him, don't they?
And it was a good night for us recording. We did it at Budgeon, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was cool, wasn't it?
Gav saw like some food.
Set up. The food was
Well,
nice.
no, that was that's Get Gourmet. That's a good plug for them. So Charlie at Get Gourmet, she's like done loads of catering for us before, and she how good's that food?
Sam had a week of school dinners off the back of it, didn't you?
I plated it all up, didn't I? With any packed lunches for the next 4 days. There.
Where's that cling film come from?
Let's get run out the
Cool
staff
box.
all the time. Here we go again. Having chicken wings, got steak, everything.
Don't worry, ladies, in the dinner hall. Don't worry, I'm sorted.
Don't give Gav credit for sorting that food out. Gav's track record of providing food's poor, isn't it? I know you've had a bit of a go to Dave some sandwiches. I'm still haven't recovered from the pizza incident.
I'm in shock here. I'm in shock. We've got a nice little platter today, haven't we? For my wife, Holly's done that for us.
Amazing.
But yeah, Get Gourmet, Charlie at Get Gourmet. If you want anything to do with catering, they are absolute quality.
Right, I'll tell you what we're doing to talk about this live event. It's all anybody's asking me about. I watched the video again the other day, and I got a bit nervous. I watched it. I felt like I was quite chilled about it. I was like, yeah, definitely. Even when I went to theatre, I felt quite chilled.
It's just the bit I'm a bit nervous about is when we've got to dance.
Yeah,
that's the bit I'm not nervous about.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
But I think when I saw their video, I thought, oh, dear me, and everybody started like sharing it, and then people messaging about tickets. Then I've got a few people going, hey, what are you actually going to do, Sam? What are you going to do at the show for 2 hours?
Go on then, what are we going to do?
Well, I was saying we're going to. I'll be
we
talking.
need to think of something quickly, don't we?
I'll be like,
Hence the easel in the corner of the room.
Which is currently blank.
We'll be talking. I'll be talking with you two, and I said we'll get some of the lads from the conference season. And I said we'll have a bit of a chat, and everyone's going, is that going to be good for 2 hours? And I was like, yeah, but we're going to make it unbelievable, aren't we?
That's the thing about it. Like Whit said it, didn't he? We end up having a conversation and we go, let's just do it then. We just get things done, don't we? So we're under pressure now. We've booked the venue.
Yeah. It will be brilliant. It will be brilliant. We're going to put loads and loads of work into it to make sure it's as good as possible.
Yeah.
And it's going to be based on that conference team, isn't it? It's a 2003-4 Shrewsbury Town promotion special. Basically, all of the lads have agreed to come, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
well, all of them have said that if they are available, because some of them say like, for example, I don't know what Joe Hart might have a game, but he says he will try and come.
Yeah,
Ryan
he
might have a game. The rest of them, I think, I won't have games of anything. Well, no one else is playing or managing, or are they? So the rest of them should be fine.
They want to know if Luke's going to be there, won't they? Luke, Rogers, Tolly, Mossy.
Tolly will be coming 100%.
Yeah.
Tolly's out shopping for an outfit now.
I can't wait. Yeah, he's there now. I can't wait to see Tino.
I can't wait.
I just want to cuddle him and brush cheeks with him.
But he's old now, isn't he? How old will he be? He's got to be like early 50s now, is he?
Yeah, I think he'll look unreal.
No.
Like I've still got him in my
You're still a young
head. Is looking amazing. If he turns up and he's carrying a bit of timber and he's not ripped up anymore, I'm going to be gutted.
I can't see it because I'll be devastated.
Because if I see him, I'm just going to give him a big kiss and a cuddle.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I haven't seen him in ages.
But some great characters there.
Yeah.
We should call it the redemption season
Yeah.
because you got relegated, didn't you? Let's be honest. The reason you went and won promotion because you got relegated.
And it was a bit fortuitous, the promotion, wasn't it?
It wasn't some ways, but then you look.
We had
Have you seen our home record though? We have to look.
Yeah.
I think we lost like one game, didn't we, at home all season?
Fair play. You both, and even some of the lads I spoke to about that season, you always say about how you were fortuitous and you had sort of stumbled over the line a little bit, but you don't get promoted by accident.
No, you've still got to be there, haven't you? We're still there.
And as well, you
Just quite humble, aren't we?
what is very apparent and what I think will make the night is that team spirit.
Yeah.
Because you've set up a little WhatsApp group, Sam, haven't you, that we're in.
So everybody's in now.
And that's already started, isn't it?
There's so many stories from what happened in that season that are going to be so funny for any football fan, really, going there to see what it was like in that era. Like,
I wasn't even
hilarious
attached
stuff.
to it, was I?
Wits has got loads of footage and stuff like that as well that we can hopefully trawl through and find some best bits that we can hopefully play on the evening. There's so many things we can do to make it really fun, entertaining.
It's going to be an extravaganza, Dave.
Yeah.
Wits has got footage of like the bus the bus trips and everything as well. Obviously, I'm not on the bus trip. I went to Magaluf with my mates, didn't I, when everybody did a bus tour of the town. But
don't regret that one at all.
No, yeah,
it's all in black.
Like, what a terrible decision that was. But some of that footage would be amazing. No one's ever seen that before. We'd have all that footage.
You might be able to get it in colour as well, wouldn't you?
You were
Just speak to the museum in Manchester. They'll sort us out with a bit of footage, wouldn't they? But it is going to be, and like you say, I wasn't even attached to it. So when we spoke about it and we spoke about what the theme could be, because I know a lot of them lads, because I ended up signing for Shrewsbury and playing with a lot of them, it is an absolute no-brainer. When you talk about the team spirit of that team, the fact it was a successful year. Do you know Cookie, the assistant? I can't wait, because obviously I've only dealt with Dave in a professional capacity, so I wasn't aware that he's this. But I would never have known. When you talk about him, he just sounds like the funniest guy on the planet. So I can't wait to hear him.
We've got.
He's confirmed, isn't he?
Yeah. Jimmy Quinn's confirmed.
Yeah.
He's coming.
God, that's a big one. If you're a supporter, football supporter, that's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
To ask Jimmy Quinn out.
Does he know about you not being allowed to celebrate with him though?
He will on the night.
Yeah.
He will do. He probably did, because he scored about 7 goals this season. Now he's kept on walking away from so he probably did. But yeah, and it'd be fascinating to ask him what it was like, managing all us lot.
Absolutely.
Because what a handful that is. I mean, you speak to those lads now and they'll all still tell you, like Luke and Tolly and Mossy, who played loads of games afterwards and played for loads of different clubs. Ryan played for loads of clubs afterwards. And Joe will be the same. They'll all still tell you that was their best time. Yeah. Like Ryan will say that was his funniest.
From a social point of view.
From a social point of view. I don't think Ryan Lowe picking that
couldn't a barn door, but he had a great time.
I don't think Ryan Lowe and Joe Hart are picking that out as their most successful period in football. I think
socially,
Joe Hart, I think, went on to some better things, did he, after that?
He's done something, didn't he? I can't remember.
But I think in terms of fun and enjoyment and stories, there's millions. I mean, I remember we went to the RMI, I remember taking 1,500 fans. So if a third of them want to come to the theatre, we've sold out. All the people who come to the RMI.
It'd be interesting to see what the uptake would be. It'd be good to get some feedback, wouldn't it, to see what... Because are we doing a couple of QAs on the build-up as well?
Yeah, and we'll do...
Are we doing that? Probably you talk about... We're having a planning meeting after this.
Yeah.
To do that.
We want to get the tickets released, though, ASAP, before Christmas. So I think it's a real nice Christmas gift for people as well, if you're struggling what to do. It's not going to break the bank.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, by the time this comes out, Tuesday... Will the tickets be out, or is that a bit...
No.
No. Sam's been really close to the organisation.
I don't know, why haven't we just print the tickets?
No, I think that, just print them off, yeah. Well, hopefully we can just get Theatre Severn to put it on the box office and then it'll be out about
November, 5th of November.
We did tell Sam now you can get them online and get them to your phone, which he thought was revolutionary.
I'm amazed by
that. Are they getting sent to my house then? Or?
I thought I was going to get...
Because I've got a printer. You've got a printer, haven't you?
650 tickets sent to my house. And I had to just sell them from my garage. pop down Hillside Drive, pick up a ticket.
Well, we'll get that out. I think, within the next week, we need to have them live, don't we? Because a lot of people are asking. We've had a lot of messages, I think, haven't we, on social media asking a question. So we don't want to
I keep on asking. I keep on texting you two. When's they getting released?
You text me. I text Dave. Dave texts you.
We're all texting each other. But we need them out. And that last live event we did was brilliant, wasn't it?
Quality.
We had 200 people there for that.
Yeah, that was the Shrewsbury Town Foundation, wasn't it?
So we did it for charity.
They were brilliant because they organised it so well, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, fair play to them.
We were brilliant. We did it all for free. Absolutely shattered me.
Yeah, we were unreal.
It took loads of work, loads of planning. Whit said that, we were we'll do a question and answer. Whit said, oh no, you're running the whole event.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I've got
but without that,
jacket and the microphone.
We wouldn't be doing this now because we loved it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we thought, we can do something.
Which basically signed us up for everything, didn't he? Just said they'll do anything.
He knew you were thinking of our long-term interests, weren't you, Whit? Yeah.
You knew.
Brains behind it. But that was brilliant. And we got loads of interaction with the fans. So hopefully all those fans will come back.
When I spoke to the guy who organised it as well, he said that we sold, that was 150 tickets. They were allowed to add an extra 10, and he reckons that sold out in about 5 minutes.
So it wasn't 200, it was 160.
No, it was 160, it was on a night,
Made me a bit nervous. Thanks. I thought
it was sold out in 5 minutes, and there's loads of people that said to me, couldn't come because it was sold out.
Get a ticket. Tickets were cheaper then, weren't they?
Yeah.
This is more of a show, isn't it?
More of a show, so you get value for 500 quid a ticket.
We had...
Yeah, that's what they're worth, but they're going to be at a discount price of...
But we had Spinky, Nicky Bound, didn't we, and Sharpie. They were good guests.
Yeah, quality.
But we're going to have loads of guests this time. And Spinky's... So like, Spinky's coming. Why is Spinky on the group? I don't even think Spinky was there. Conference season was. Somehow Spinky's on the group, like, and then somehow Spinky just texts me, "Hey Sam, I'm in for the 24th." I went, "Mate, you weren't even there. I thought Rachel was the physio."
I see him on the videos. I see him.
What was he doing there?
Celebrating on the pitch after.
Yeah, he must have been there. Well, he was on the picture at the end of the season.
Was he?
Yeah.
Changing room jester.
Was he assistant physio?
Assistant junior physio.
I think it was physio at the start, and then they decided they needed Rach.
It decided they needed someone qualified.
We had Spinky as the physio at the start of the season and realised that we needed a physio. So we got a new physio, and Spinky was just, what was Spinky, entertainment's manager or something?
Yeah, you needed an organiser for a night out, didn't you?
But he's in anyway, so Spinky will be back on stage.
Yeah, he's quality,
he's
isn't he?
great value as well. He could do an hour by himself.
Easy.
Spinky's coming.
I can't wait to see what shade he's going to be. Spinky.
Yeah.
Tangerine.
Has a bath in creosote.
Creosote, yeah, for a week before the show.
Yeah. And then a cream vest.
I'll be a couple of shades behind him.
Yeah, so we've got Spinky coming. Who else? Luke will be funny. Well, will he be funny? I don't know.
He will, because he's dry, isn't he?
He's dry.
Yeah.
Talia Mossy will be brilliant. Scott Howie gives a really good insight into being the goalkeeper, saving those penalties.
Yeah. That would be good.
Because we want the penalties up on the screen, don't we, and talk us through them. Trevor Chalice is coming.
There's my soft spot, Trev. He was quality, wasn't he? What a player.
Martin O'Connor, has he replied?
Martin O'Connor's a definite.
He's a legend of the game, isn't he?
I mean, we're going to struggle to have to speak to all these people in 2 hours. It's going to have to get moving.
We're not going to have to talk, are we?
I don't think me and Gav are making any promises. If the stage is on there now, and the lights come on and that,
A couple of Madrid down.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'll be like, can we hear from Scott Howie? No. Just another half an hour and that'll be coming off. Another half an hour. Yeah, that'd be good. And we'll do some VIP tickets, won't we, where we can get people backstage. Yeah. And they can come and chat to all the lads, because the lads will be hanging around beforehand, won't they?
I think one thing we have agreed, we said that there's going to be like an early bird tickets, and there'll be a few for VIP for them to come and meet the lads behind, get some photo opportunities.
Yeah.
And
so get some early bird tickets, a bit cheaper out straight away, like a limited number, and then they'll all go on sale as normal then. Yeah.
Can be a good night.
Marketing strategy. I have actually got a business degree, so we need to utilise that a little bit.
We should have thought about that before we started the podcast.
So then we'll have the show, and then we'll have an after party afterwards, won't we?
That is
Seven Social.
7 Social round the corner.
Out for 7 Social.
But again, that's only limited, so people have to. You get like what did we say? You get a wristband, one of the wristbands, don't you? Sent out to you.
But all the lads will come to that afterwards.
Yeah, all the lads will be there.
What we did when we did the last show, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Because we did the last show, it was either 200 or 160 people there. Then at the end, I just said, let's go to the Yorkshire House to get across the road. There was 2 17-year-old girls serving behind the bar, 150 people went into
They were totally overwhelmed, weren't they?
Only took cash.
They said only took cash. Well, it only takes
Everyone
cash.
flying off to the cash point. That was good though, being able to mix with the supporters.
That's how you enjoyed that, Mickey Brown.
He did enjoy that. Yeah. I mean, we said we'll buy him a few drinks, and if fair play, he used that.
He's T-Rex Central, innit?
Would have been better off giving them a £500 fee for it than saying,
All I remember with Mickey is him getting bundled into the taxi. A couple of people took care of him, stuck him in the taxi. But
it's not the first time, it's not won't be the last.
Nah. We'll have him on the night out, won't we?
Yeah, but that's what we should have as well. Took a percentage of the drinks from the bar at the Yorkshire House. 150 people in hindsight. If we just got in the wheel to take 10%.
Well, if you'd have told us we were going there before you announced it.
Just literally stood up and said, we're all going there.
We're all got the Yorkshire House. Who's in it? Woo! Yeah, let's go.
The guys from Shrewsbury Town Foundation are thinking, we missed a massive opportunity to make a bit more money.
As well, I was going to speak to you lads about it. I was going to do it wait for the planning meeting, but let's just do it now. What about merchandise to purchase on the night?
I think we could put it out to say what people would like.
T-shirts.
T-shirts are a winner, aren't they?
Pint glass.
A pint glass? With what on it? What, with a picture of us three on it?
No, I was thinking just me. on a pint glass.
What about a mug?
I was thinking one of them pens. One of them pens where you've got your kit on and you've got your kit off.
I was going to say one of those mugs which we heat up and it just comes off.
We're obsessed with getting naked, us three, aren't we? We've got to calm down. We're professional men.
We need to get some. That's why you're making money. You go to take that concert and you get a T-shirt, 50 quid.
We're not in it for the money, Sam.
No, I know about it.
I'm not. We're about miners flipping $3,000 here.
I'm just trying to break even on
petrol.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
on petrol. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. That
merchandise quickly. T-shirts, definitely. T-shirts are a winner. If anyone's got any ideas, please email us. inthestiffs@gmail.com or social media at inthestiffs.
It's like something, I'm looking for something as well. I don't want people to put in t-shirts and hoodies. I want something a bit more interesting.
Be quite funny, wouldn't it?
Make some funny things. I don't know. Leave it to the listeners.
Pants with us on the front of it.
Underwear.
Yeah.
Something like that. We'll have a think.
Men's and women.
Some sensible suggestions would be good.
Mr. and Mrs. Underwear for Christmas.
Yeah. Brilliant. Some sensible suggestions would be good as well.
But it will be amazing that, and there'll be some great memories from a fantastic season. You know, Jimmy Quinn being there, 44 years of age, talk us about him scoring those goals. Lee Oromai, remember 2-2. We got smashed 5-0 by someone.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you now, Sam?
45.
45. So that is. So that is the equivalent, literally, of you turning up in the conference now and thinking, I'm going to go and bag some goals.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
And that deserves a lot of credit. Because to think about Sam now turning up on the pitch is unthinkable, isn't it?
I think I wouldn't score any goals. I didn't score any goals when I was 25. But
you stick to get the balls out, you.
I'd be a handful.
Oh yeah, backing in.
Yeah, just backing in.
Players are number 9 out and out number 9.
No legs though.
How long do you reckon we get out of you?
Good 20 minutes.
8 minutes. Me and Dave were talking on the way here, and we're talking about our kids and their football. And we're seeing about having to, how you need run channels and things like that, and how different players can play for longer. And we talk about Ryan Lowe, could play when he was 40 because he never relied on his pace, whereas Luke Rodgers was all about playing off the shoulder. And in that conference season, he was on the shoulder, running behind, causing havoc. Then he come back to Shrewsbury, didn't he? And he tried to be like Matt Letizia in the number 10.
Is that after he played with Henri?
Yeah, played with Henri and thought I'd come and drop into midfield and get on the ball, and he couldn't trap a bag of cement.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so I think please look out for that. Tickets will be on sale
next week.
Whoa, Gav's gone for it.
Let's get
next week. So this comes out Tuesday, so the following week.
Yeah.
All right.
So this comes out Tuesday, so the following week.
Following week it'll be
week commencing.
Go on, Dave, have a look on your calendar.
Week commencing the 7th of November.
Yeah.
7th of November.
So it don't come out on a week commencing.
Maybe before.
Yeah.
We get our accent.
Maybe before. And how do you get them then?
There'll be a link when
Sam will
so you have to walk down. You have to walk down to the
Sam's
theatre,
garage,
or come to my house. Come to my house or walk down the theatre. Otherwise, you're not going to get one.
Yeah.
So we'll send out all the links and everything.
We'll send out all the links.
Get an early bird ticket. Better to try and get an early bird ticket for the minute. It'll be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I'm excited already.
I'm excited.
I'm trying to.
We need to get through how we're running it all, don't we? But just so for the listeners to know that pretty much everybody will be there from the conference season.
Yeah,
they'll all be coming up on stage at different times. There'll be plenty of times to ask questions to all these people. And if you want to come for a drink afterwards, you're more than welcome as well. But we'll be having a private party.
And this event will not be done again with the conference lads, so don't miss out.
Yeah,
no,
don't miss out.
And Joe and Loey, they're dependent on schedules, so we'll know closer
They'll
to the time.
be there in some capacity.
Yeah,
even if we have to
video link come in or
video
something.
link.
Yeah,
it could, and I think pretty much.
What's Joe got on? Was he playing in Champions League or something?
Well,
knocked out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
It's Friday night, isn't it? So I presume you'll have a game the next day.
Yeah, you will have a
Can you
game.
not just miss it?
Helicopter.
Why can't you just miss it?
Yeah, I don't know. Tell the gaffer. Not going to be available.
Hopefully he picks up a little niggle.
Yeah.
What about Ryan?
Yeah.
It's February. Don't know. They lost the other night. They didn't have to lose 3 on the bounce. You might get sacked, so you might go eat it.
Yeah. We can always hope for that, couldn't we?
Fingers crossed that we've got Joe and Ryan there.
Joe's got a niggle and Loey's been sacked.
Happy days. And
yeah,
there,
they'll be there. Happy days.
That's good then. So fingers crossed.
Bit selfish on our part, but
Joe's at home to Hearts the next day.
Right. So I'm struggling.
Hearts.
Let's see who Loey's got.
Hearts as well. Is that a big one?
Miss that one, Connie?
Subkeeper.
They could have won the league by then.
Who Preston got?
So Preston have got. They're at home to Wigan.
Oh, it's all right.
The Derby?
Road?
Yeah, Derby. It's just up the road. That he'll come for an hour, I reckon.
Yeah, sorted. They're both there. They're both there.
Yeah, they'll be
He's
there.
not away somewhere. If he's away, they'll both be there.
Happy days.
Yeah, sorted. Right. I just thought it's a good opportunity to have a little catch up for how our old teams are doing. A bit mixed at the moment, I think, for our old teams. I think you'd agree. I just thought, what we now sort of get the season starting to sort of settle down a little bit now. League places
You're over a quarter of the way through the season now, aren't
Yeah.
you? So you are where you should be really now, aren't you?
And you sort of know as a player, don't you, what your season's going to look like now, don't
Whereas
you?
everyone thinks they can win the league at the start of the season, don't you?
Yeah, everyone's positive, but now you're looking at it and you're going, oh, we're looking at mid-table, or actually we could be pushing on to a playoff, so
We're in trouble.
in the battle, yeah. Let's start with Shrewsbury.
That is a rule of thumb, isn't it? But it does change, because as soon as you get to January, there are some teams that their recruitment's not be as good as they hoped, so they have a little change up.
It forces your recruitment, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah. So January's sometimes I think it's a little bit early to say if you're out of things, because you can have a good run if you can put together 3 or 4 wins.
And we're getting into the season with managers getting sacked.
Still win the league, then is that what you're telling me?
Not quite, but yeah, I think if you're sort of in and around the mid-table and you're sort of 4 or 5 points off where the playoffs are, you put a good run together. That's what you're telling your players, aren't you?
Yeah, you see it all the time. You see lads kick on massively after Christmas, but on the flip side, when you're struggling, this is
not Dave though. Remember after Christmas, Dave starts.
Dave's normally winding down. He's put Marbella and Dubai on in one.
January.
Yeah.
If I'm not right in contention already, like playoffs are automatic, then that's it.
There's no point, lads. It's chill.
Dave's running stats plateau, don't they?
Yeah. We'll just get 14.
GPS.
Start with Shrewsbury then. Been any Shrewsbury games, Dave?
Yeah, I've been to 3 this year. Doing really well.
Yeah,
really well.
They lost last 2, didn't they? But
Plymouth they won 1-0 up, weren't they? Plymouth haven't lost they've won every home game this year, Plymouth, and Town went there and 1-0 up and hit the bar a couple of times. He's got them going in. He's got a good group of players there now. Like the core of that team is very strong. Been a little bit unlucky with injuries and stuff, but he's got a smaller squad, but he'll rotate players' positions. Rather than having 2 players in each position, he'll have a player who can play 2 or 3 different positions, and it's actually worked really well. And I think all Shrewsbury fans will be delighted with their start there. Sort of, they're not far off the playoffs, are they? It's still top half. I'm not sure after the Tuesday night game.
They're hard to beat, aren't they? I think they're big and they're strong.
They are. At the start of the season, I thought they were very much like that, but now they're starting to play a bit of football as well. The last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, I think because their confidence is a bit high, they're getting results. They're in a place now where, right, let's try and play a little bit as well.
Do you know what's nice to see with Shrewsbury though? I know like it was the Papa Johns or whatever, but all them young kids coming through from the academy and that as well. Like that's nice to see, isn't it?
Great experience for them.
Yeah.
Great experience.
I think that we've spoken a lot about the youngsters, but it's good that Shrewsbury seem to be getting quite a lot of youngsters through at the moment as well, which...
Yeah. I mean, even like if there's 7 of them there, even if you get 1 or 2 of them that can contribute to the first team.
Yeah. They have 3 or 4 on the bench at the moment, which is really good.
I think it's impressive, and this is why I think it's such a tough industry and why you need a little bit more longevity as a manager, because I think last year I'd be quite critical of Steve Cotterill because I felt like he was setting them up to get not to get beat, which sounds great, but then obviously
it's still a bit like that now.
When it turns over, well, I don't know. I think they've evolved now. I think they've evolved, and I think credit to him because what he's done is he's set them up not to get beat, stay in the league, stay competitive, and then obviously he's built on that now. He's added 3 or 4 sort of players. Is it Shipley?
Yeah, Shipley, Bayliss, Taylor Moore.
Yeah, so those lads now that when the ball turns over, they've actually got an idea. And like sometimes you can do as much as you want in terms of wave patterns in training and trying to build a plan going forward. But ultimately, it's got to be down to the players. So if you've got players good enough to do it, and last year I'm not sure they're very reliant on Daniel, weren't they? Scoring goals.
What's happened? There's an update on Daniel Lador then.
He's a real tough one. So he's obviously done his cruciate, but they've had to take some out of his hamstring on his other leg. So it's like quite bad. He couldn't even walk for 2 weeks. So they've had to take some bits and pieces out of his hamstring on his left leg to put into his cruciate on his right leg or vice versa. So he's in good spirits. I saw him yesterday. He's in really good spirits, really, but obviously...
He's flying though, isn't he? He's ahead of where he needs to be.
Oh, massively. But the thing is, when you're someone as professional as him and his attitude is out of this world, he is doing everything he can and will be doing, like, it will be his priority. Like some players will sort of go, I'm glad of the rest. Daniel's chomping at the bit already. So,
but going back to Shrew, like the way they're playing, you're very much you'll hit the nail on the head there. Whereas they're a bit more defensive last year, but they never had a player to transition that into an attack. Yeah. Whereas now, in particular with Bayliss is good. They've got someone who kind of links that defending because he still works hard. And you look at all successful Steve Cotterill teams, especially the Bristol City team. They're like called Luke Freeman, do you remember him?
Yes.
Yeah, real talented player, but works his socks off. So he's like a skillful number 10, but does the work of what a number 8 would do. Yeah. And Bayliss is that. But it just means when they win the ball back, they've got him who can get it on the half turn. He can run with the ball. He can slide players in.
And that's where I hold my hands up a little bit, Dave, because last year I was a little bit like, there's that. For me personally, I didn't think there was as soon as the ball turned over, there was no transition. Yeah. It was... off the cuff. It was very defensive and it worked because he's been competitive. But like you say, for him to build on that, and credit to the club for giving him that time and giving him the opportunity to build a squad.
Definitely been a project, and he's had to add little bits in as he goes along. Because obviously the budgets in that league it's literally split into two different leagues. You've got a top 12 and a bottom 12, and Shrewsbury are very much in the bottom 12 in terms of resources.
Really?
So for them
I would imagine that's some big clubs in there.
The gap is massive. You'll be able to look at the table and pick out who the top 12 teams will be, like big teams for that level. And Shrewsbury, to be in anywhere around that top half, that is massively punching above their weight. And then they get thrown these fixtures this week where they're Plymouth away on a Tuesday, Portsmouth away on a Saturday. Like, that's just
Plymouth away
horrific,
Tuesday,
isn't it?
And they've had a couple of injuries because Daniel's not the only one, is he?
George Nurse did his ACL as well. They brought Aidan O'Brien in, who hasn't played a game yet.
Silver lining, like you say, got some of the young lads. What you about? Yeah. Let's get you on the bench. Good, are you going to shit yourself or are you going to contribute? Because the reason they'll get on that bench is because they'll be doing it in training, and they'll be like, okay, what can you do when you're in front of that crowd? Interesting.
I watched under-18s play the other day, and the
left flying they are, by the way, aren't they?
Good, they're really good. The left back was supposed to play with the under-18s, but he was on the bench for the first team. I can't remember his name now. I remember, but he's supposed to be really good. It's good. So it's good.
Shrewsbury, they're going well, but I think the atmosphere around the club is brilliant. Like, you go to a game, the amount of kids there, it's amazing, isn't it? Like a proper family community club. I think it's in a really good place at the moment.
Nice to hear. Good.
Talk to us about Wolves, though, Dave. Any spot of bother?
No comment. I don't know where you start, mate.
What do you make of the signing of Costa?
I think it's brilliant.
They needed it. He adds a little bit of character to the team. I was at the game when they lost to Leicester at the weekend, and although he's not there like physically yet, I don't know, he adds a little bit of bite to the team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They need that.
And they've got no one else. They've got no strikers, so he has to play.
Just playing devil's advocate, for me, I think you can't not sign him if he's available. Someone of that ability.
When you've got no other strikers and you're only in the free agent market,
that's frightening. Yeah. Thing for me is I wonder whether it's sort of counterproductive because of the size of the character and size of player he is. Is it one of them? He's here to save the day, or do you think that just gives the players a lift?
It gives the players a lift. I think, especially
fans a lift as well.
Yeah, and he's especially got a lot of young lads in that team, and he got a lot of good footballers. You want to see him if you're lined up in the tunnel. I want to see Diego Costa and my team stood in front of me. It's that whole sort of Roy Keane, Steven Gerrard, John Terry, Alan Shearer.
My one criticism of it is that he's only just started to see that. The first couple of games, like a parade for him. Obviously, one of the first ones was Chelsea. Yeah. And he's waving at everyone and going around the pitch and kind of, I'm here. But then the last couple, he started to get that snarl back.
Yeah. Go on, Diego, let's crack on now. We've all seen you.
I can't say I'd do any different though, could you? I'll be like, guys, all right, nice to see you again, looking after yourself.
He got brought off at Chelsea, and you know when you can go off either side of the pitch now? So he did like a lap of honour. Losing 2-0.
Took his medal out, put his medal on, walking around. All right, Diego, let's crack on now. They're struggling a bit.
It's just what's happening with the hierarchy of the club. It's so similar to when we got relegated in 2012. It's just fortunate what's happening now is happening in October, whereas when I was there, it happened in February. So a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. We lost to West Brom, battered 5-1 at home, which is like cardinal sin. And the crowd were gunning for Mick, and he got sacked the next day.
Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy, but they had no plan. So there's nothing wrong with sacking Mick or sacking Bruno, but you've got to have a plan behind it. And at the time when I got relegated, they didn't. Steve Bruce was close to coming, didn't happen. Brought in Terry Connor. We were out of the relegation zone when Mick got sacked. We were fourth bottom. We got relegated, I don't think we finished bottom or second bottom. That caused a relegation, and this is so similar. But it's happened earlier, and the resources are a lot more, obviously. But unless they must have thought they had Lopetegui done and dusted, I think, for them to sack Bruno. And for whatever reason, that fell through. Some family problems or whatever.
Michael Beale nearly went in, didn't he?
And then they've obviously started scrambling. Michael Beale. And for them to go public on that, they must have thought they had a really good chance of it, and then he's turned it down last second. Randomly on Michael Beale, what do you think of his interview coming out and backing QPR and Nike's, his integrity and stuff? Because I loved it from a fan's point of view, but he's just shutting the door on anything now. He can't go anywhere, can he, for the next 18 months?
Well, I think what I'd say to that is he's made his mind up.
Yeah.
So I suppose he's just gone balls deep and just gone, well, I've made my mind up, so I'm not going back, so I can do this. I think, like you say, it's very refreshing, and maybe naively, it's some of the sort of stuff
I think it's quite naive, I think.
And it's some of the sort of stuff I did, because you just think, well, if I can just be honest with people, I'm just going to be honest with everyone, and I'm going to give everybody a good insight, and people are going to respect that. The problem is, honesty's great until it's what someone doesn't want to hear. And that's the problem. And I think what he's done there is, I love it. He's been loyal to his mate, and he's gone, I'm not going to Aston Villa. He's obviously hammered everyone at Aston Villa, the way the club is and how they've set him up to fail and all of this, how he's put it. But like you rightly say, it comes back and bites you on the backside, and I know that from experience. So
I'm just thinking if fortunes change at QPR, it's not going so well. It will show him a little bit of loyalty now because of this, but how much will he show him? But also, if a big job comes along in the next 12 months.
He must have got another contract off the back of that. I mean, what I will say is I took my boys down to, the family went to London for the weekend, and I took the boys on a Friday night to watch Reading. And I saw QPR obviously in and around it, and I look at the squad and I thought, they're young and energetic. I was absolutely blown away. Like, I went to watch QPR, obviously I'm a boyhood QPR supporter, but I went took my boys a couple of years ago to watch Brentford just before they got promoted to the Premier League, and Brentford were out of this world. Like, they were frightening, and QPR reminded me of them. They were just incredible in the transition. The rotation in all three phases of the pitch were unreal. The energy, the counter press, I've not seen anything like that for a long, long time. They've really got a good squad there. If they can maintain those energy levels, that's, keep everyone fit, they could be in for a shout. But he's clearly got them excited. The way he talks, obviously it's all about trust and relationships. He's clearly got the players on side because they're all in it for him.
Yeah.
But the manager's always got the players on side, haven't they, until they lose a couple of games.
Yeah, but it's not often that you like a manager and you trust him. Like you're on side because obviously you're calling the shots. I'm determined whether you're in the team or not. So you've always got a player on side to a point. Yeah. But I think what he's gained is, certainly in my first year at Telford, and for the most part actually, you gain a player's trust, and you gain a relationship with them individually and collectively. I always used to say I'd go into a room with one of the players, and I could guarantee that the relationship I had with him was different to another player individually, but collectively, I had to be different. And I think he's got that down to a T.
I think football's evolving though, because I look at the relationships I had with managers, and the ones I had a good relationship is because they played me and they were a good person. I thought they had good morals and things like that. Whereas now, with the quality of coaching, I think people will look at Mick Beale and say, he's an unbelievable coach. He's made us so much better, and they love him. And I can go off this because I did an Ipswich game recently. They got Kieran McKenna there, who's an old Man United coach, and everyone speaks so highly of him, an Irish guy. And speaking to a couple of the players there, and I've never seen any players talk about their manager like they talked about him. It was like they absolutely almost besotted with him, saying he is so good. He is a Premier League manager. We are so lucky to have him. The stuff he does, he is making me so much better. Yeah. And I've never had that relationship with, I don't know if I was uncoachable or what, but I think it's evolving in terms of the quality of the coaching.
Because I think the respect comes from obviously the work he's doing on the grass, but equally then I think, like you said, football's changed very much so in our era, Sam. You had dictatorships. Very rare did you have a Brian Little who would speak to you like a human being. It was very much dictator. Whereas now I think they have to take that approach because it's very much player power. Certainly at that level where they're all on thousands of pounds a week, if they spit their dummy out, would have got a 3-year contract. So now I think the approach of that, putting your arm around a player and talking to him and understanding them and nurturing them and gaining their trust is probably the way forward, isn't it?
I think they want to, what I kind of found from those Ipswich lads I was speaking to, they almost want to align themselves with Kieran McKenna because they know he's going to the top. Yeah. He knows how much better they've made it, and almost they think, I just want to be with him. Do you know what I mean?
And I suppose if you realise that someone's making you better, like in the end, even if you're not even a great person, whatever, you think he's helping me to be better at my job, in the end, I'm sticking with him and I want this person in my life.
I had this with my players for a long time, been out of it a year now, none of them have texted me. I haven't had a text for a while, so.
So Shrewsbury doing well, Wolves struggling, other teams. What about Luton these days, Dave?
Doing well, yeah. They've had a couple of good, they had...
what division Luton in?
Champ.
Yeah.
Nearly got promoted last year. They were in the playoffs, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I think when did I leave? In 2008, so what's that, 15 years ago. They got relegated from League One that year. They had a points deduction. The following season, they had a 30-point deduction. Yeah, right. Got relegated to the conference. And then they spent a couple of years in the conference, I think, and then started to make their way back up. So to think how quickly they've come back up, and now they are year on year now competing in the Championship. Yeah. Like they're up around that top half of the table again this year. It's an unbelievable story. And what a place to play football for a home player. Horrible for away players, but as a home player, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Horrible playing there away.
Yeah, it was class, and he's got something going. Nathan Jones obviously went away to Stoke, didn't work out, gone back to Luton, picked up where he left off. Yeah, and they're punching massively above their weight.
The lad I played with, Amari Bell, he plays left back for him.
Yeah.
He's super talent, Jamaican international, great lad, amazing, lovely lad, but such a good player, mate. Yeah. Turn the burners on when he wants to. Great recovery.
They play some good soccer.
Yeah,
I remember playing against Luton in when I went back to Shrewsbury and when they were in League One. Yeah, and he had him playing like a diamond in midfield, and we tried to match him up with a diamond. You know, if a diamond is playing a diamond, then it's whoever fullbacks are highest is going to win the game. Yeah. Our fullbacks were like fucking proper fullbacks. Their fullbacks are like wingers, and we just got battered. Yeah, no, they're good, and it's good to see as well. All the turmoil they went through. Yeah, to come back like they have is.
What's their fan base like then, Luton? What do they
pack it out? 10,000, 10, 11,000. Is it Kenilworth Road? And that's with only 3 stands, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I played there, it's 10, 11,000 every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's obviously that's it at the moment. But I think they've got. I want to say they're building a stadium in the actual middle of the city. Are they? In the middle of the town?
That's definitely happening. Yeah.
So when I signed there, they were telling me they were building a stadium on the M1 there, which obviously never got off the ground. But
nice place, Luton, Dave, innit? Did you not move there? Or?
Didn't actually go there much apart from the games.
Any reason for that? Or?
No, just
nice to see it.
Yeah,
I just wanted to stay a little bit more north, close to Shrewsbury.
That's very diplomatic, Dave. Sunderland doing all right as well in the Championship, exciting. One of my old teams, 14th.
Shame they lost their manager, wasn't it? I know they got Mowbray in, but
yeah, he got a little bit of stick for that. But that's that's a massive club. Talk about 10,000. Like if they're top, they're getting 42,000.
Yeah,
massive.
Just needed someone to.
Who's gone in there now? Tony Mowbray.
Yeah,
is that light your fire?
He did well at Blackburn, didn't he?
Managerial merry-go-round. He does a job, doesn't he?
Everybody's
plays soccer, to be fair. His team plays some soccer.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they do play really good football.
He didn't as a player.
No,
I don't remember.
He was
brilliant centre off, wasn't he? With Gary Pallister, Middlesbrough.
Absolutely, yeah. He was a beast. He must have broke his nose every game.
Yeah.
Stick your head in where it hurts.
But yeah, something to do well. I mean, that potential of that club is a joke.
Yeah,
absolute joke.
Again, I know a few lads at Sunderland, and I know they loved Alex Neil when he was there.
Yeah.
So I think everyone was disappointed when he left because they were really, they started the season really well, didn't they? And they were
strange one, wasn't it? Did he go from?
Must be just obviously it's financial promises or
you can't. We don't know. We can't.
It's a little bit the opposite of Mick Beale, isn't it? You know, do you strike while the iron's hot? You know, you go like, was it Stoke he's gone to?
Yeah, you go from Sunderland to Stoke.
No one can get Stoke going though, can they?
Nah.
Yeah, I used to watch Stoke in the Prem all the time. But you go from Sunderland to Stoke, is that a step up?
I don't necessarily think so. But
they got more money behind them, budget with the Coates family and stuff like that.
Not working well for them, though, is it?
No, they just can't get it right.
Strange one, but there must be a reason. There must be, and obviously I don't know whether that's financial or.
I looked at my other teams. Northampton third, doing well. League 2. Tranmere doing well. League 2. Well, we seem to be doing well since I've left. What about Telford, Gav?
Yeah, I think they're struggling at the minute. I don't tend to look a lot, to be honest. When you're out of it, you get out.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's not true.
I've seen the league table up in your house.
Yeah. Yes, Telford lost again.
No, they obviously. I want them to do well because I live in the town.
Is that true?
No, it is true. Yeah, it is. And Andy Price, the chairman.
All right, so he's your mate, isn't he? So
he's my mate. And we weren't mates originally, and then we sort of grew into that a little bit. And I want to see him do because obviously if they don't do well, it's hard on him. He gets the stick. So when I speak to him, it's tough. You don't want to see your mates flipping struggling. But I think they are struggling, and they've just appointed my old gaffer, actually, Kev Wilkins. So they'll be in good hands now. Whether he can turn it around for them, I don't know. But struggling.
Have you been to any games since you left?
No, not been back.
Not going to yet.
No, I've got a bit of a mixed relationship, really. Well, I don't know, because I think there's a lot of good people there. There's a real mix. So you've got a bunch of Twitter warriors that basically want to run the club. So there's probably about 10 of them. They're not happy unless they're moaning. The normal stuff. But obviously with a club at that level, it sort of echoes a little bit more. I don't go on the Twitter. I'm quite good like that. It's water for ducks back to me. I've always been pretty good like that. But you've then got people that you were there who you thought they're on side, but quickly, scurry away when it gets tough. And then you've got people there that'll be there through thick and thin that really want the club to do well, genuinely. Yeah, there's a lot I could say, probably is a whole podcast in itself. But what I will say is what we did there over 3 years with the resources and what I now know is what I thought at the time was probably one of the worst budgets, was absolute the worst budget in the league. I think what we did was extraordinary over 3.5 years. And if people knew the ins and outs, we took it from a club on the brink of not existing to having an unbelievable year.
The current predicament with the resource they got now kind of highlights what a good job you did.
Well, they've got. I know they'll have double the budget. I'll be absolutely shocked if that's not the case. I'm pretty confident of that.
That's price.
I'll get him on here. Yeah, he'll be all over it. They've got more money now, so I'm hopeful that they can obviously utilise that. I think it was, I always forget his name, the guy that went in there, Paul Carden. He didn't have a great record. I think he struggled to get them going. His recruitment probably wasn't what he wanted. He'd been disappointed a little bit. So I think he's fallen by the wayside. Kev's, they're in the best possible hands with Kev. It's just whether he can work his magic.
So you say, you look for Telford's result, though, obviously, on a Saturday?
No, not really. Not really, no.
I'm not having that.
Doesn't need to look at his own favourites at the time.
Yeah.
So which results do you look for? So on a Saturday, you have your results that you look for. So if like the kid's got your phone, you say, right, tell me which teams are you asking about their result?
QPR, Colchester United, Sutton, Plymouth,
Shrewsbury,
Preston. Yeah, Shrewsbury as well. The boys always look for that.
Why Plymouth?
Steve Schumacher. Yeah. We're sort of in a little bit of a group from our A licence, so he's in it, and I'd be buzzing if he got promoted. And Lowy as well, want to see him do well, because he's sort of every week flipping. 1 minute he's the hero, next minute, because he's on that periphery at the minute, and he's like loads of draws. He'll win one. It's like, oh my God.
And they suddenly started scoring, but now they started letting a few in.
Yeah, so I just like to see people do well. So
it's usually like everyone. If you've got lads you know are playing or managing, you'll check out.
Who do you go for in day first? So
Shrewsbury and Wolves. Shrewsbury and Wolves are the main two. And then
have a look for Luton.
I know, yeah, Luton I'll do, but there's loads of teams where I've got mates playing, and I'll just I'll scroll and I'll have a look. I'll click on the game, see if they played, things like that. Yeah, big football fans. I'll look for everything.
Yeah. I don't get too bogged down with the Telford thing, just because if someone's not doing well, I don't want to revel in it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to revel in anyone's downfall. So I'd rather see people doing well and hope for people to do well. And yeah, I've got no bitterness towards the club. Obviously, there's people there are absolute whoppers, like every football club, in terms of supporters, and there's and probably staff as well. But there's people there that you think that, you know, they were great through the good times, but they scurried away. And then there's people there that will always be there, and you think they're the heart and soul of every football club. So I was there as a player, had a really good season. As a manager, we had an unbelievable year. We had 2 pandemic seasons that people forget. And then, you have to hold my recruitment. I tried with 3 players, didn't I? I wanted to try and go for it and try and dabble with a couple of players to bring in that I thought could be match winners. And I thought if one out of the 3 comes through, we're going to be competitive here. 2, I think we'll be right in the mix, but all 3 of them let me down, really. Which obviously I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for that because I recruited them. So it was really the one. I played a little bit safer because of the budget. I had to go with your Ross Whites, who consummate professional, great lad, really competent, but has areas and probably has found his level. And then what I tried to do was go for players who I thought might need to carry for certain parts of the game that I thought could come up with something and be a match winner. But it just wasn't to be. But I played a little bit safer to try and get us through. And then in that last year, I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. Try and get players who can win games, try and have a solid back 6 and a front 4 that are just going to go for it. But that front 4 went missing. And I also signed a centre half as well that I thought was going to be, that was the downfall really, trying to get centre halves. In that season, I'd missed out on 8 centre halves. And the worst thing was it was losing out to clubs at the level that had far more money, but why would you play for them when you could play for Telford? I mean, look at the stadium. You know, like at that level to play there as a player, it was an absolute honour to be there because you thought, fucking hell, I feel like a real player. And then, or even to a lower level, I lost 3 centre halves to the lower league because they just could pay them more money. So in the end,
you can't blame the lads for that, though, can you?
No, not at all. No, but obviously, I'm like going, lads, come on, you can come and play here. And what I will say is, off the back of that, I signed quite a lot of players. I mean, the record of players that I signed, these are players that have been there and done it, and that, you know, people go, if you haven't got the budget, how have you signed them? Because what I would do is I would get them to the ground, walk them through the boardroom, show them the stadium, walk across the pitch, get all enthusiastic, and I'd sell the club to them. But that was the downfall in the end. But I'm sure I'll go back at some point. Pricey's invited me a couple of times, so now Kev's down there as well. Before, I didn't really have a reason to go down there, but now Kev's there and Nooney, you know, brilliant guys. Really hope they do well.
We'll go down. We'll
go down, have a few beers, definitely.
Kids used to like going.
Yeah.
One of your ex-clubs, Sam, you haven't touched on, Wrexham.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wrexham. Yeah, that's mental,
They got permission for the new stand now as well, I think, haven't they?
Really
massive play. It's going to take off though, isn't it?
I mean, that's got.
They still can't quite get it going.
They can't, can they? But
in terms of, they should be run away the league.
That's another club you want to do so well. I know, like being in Shrewsbury, it's hard to say, but
but you want the rivalry, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
There,
imagine if they got in there,
because they'll get 15,000 every week once that stadium.
I remember for Shrewsbury when we played. I think you played as well, Dave. We played at the racecourse that day. I remember warming up in front of that stand with all the Shrewsbury supporters, and they were going wild. I was thinking before the game, fucking hell. And then I didn't really understand the rivalry.
My favourite ever games they were Shrewsbury Wrexham. Loved them.
Good rivalry. That.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be brilliant to get them going as well. That is a big.
It is one of those sleeping giants.
Would you be interested in becoming a manager? Listening to Gav talking about management there, Dave. What does that put you off, or does it make you think you'd like to give it a go?
No
interest.
Not interested at all. No.
For what reason?
Just the work-life balance.
Yeah, because there is no work-life.
No.
balance.
In management,
even
for 3.5 years, it totally absorbed.
And you were part-time manager.
Part-time,
but you're not
part-time wages. But yeah, I'm fortunate because I have my own business. I can manage my own time. But it takes over your whole life. I remember being on holiday and Holly saying to me, "Babe, you're going to need to put the phone down." I was like, "Babe, don't work like that. Like, we're going on holiday. We can go on holiday, but you're going to have to appreciate I'm going to be on my phone." And then I'd be missing, and she'd come up to the bar, and I'd be sat there, going through things and doing my budget. Because what you got to remember is as well. I remember Brian Little saying this. Like managers now, like a John Eustace at Birmingham, he's got better examples. I went in with because I've been into loads of clubs doing work, and obviously I've not just been out of it. But I went with when Rob Edwards was at Forest Green. I went in there for a couple of days, and he was laughing because in this room at one time he had an in possession coach, out of possession coach, an analyst, S&C, the list went on and on and on and on. And he was laughing and he's like taking a piss out of me, basically going, "See all these in here. They do this element of the job for me, and they then present it all to me. This is what you've been doing for the last 2-3 years on your own." I'm in possession, out of possession. I'm the analyst. I'm the recruitment guy. I'm the coach. I'm the manager. I'm their phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning crying because they've just had a little and they don't know how to bring up a baby. Like I'm that person. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be all in. Please do not think that anyone goes into management at any level.
And I think the lower down you go, it's harder, isn't it?
I think it'll be. If I end up going back in, and it's been nice to have had a couple of offers, but it's got to be something really that's going to be a step up now, because obviously, like you say, work balance. I can't sacrifice that family. I've got my business. I don't need to go in as such. But like you rightly say, Sam, you've got to have that desire to go back in, and it'll be my hardest job. So if I went now and I went in as a first team coach at League One or League Two or something like that, it won't be as tough as what Telford was, because I was doing everything, literally everything. Yeah.
So I think coaching's full on as well, and that's why I say I don't necessarily look at that as a route one to go, but management in particular, I say you have to be just completely all in with it, and everything else plays second fiddle to that. And unfortunately, families.
Ryan, he's on his phone. Like we'll be walking around the shop, and he's just on his phone the whole time. I'm like, this is a good chat.
Yeah.
We're sitting and having a beer, but he's on his phone for 40 minutes out the hour.
Yeah. And I think
gets off your phone. I can't. I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
And even when you do, I imagine even when you do say to your missus, "Oh yeah, we'll have a couple hours now where nothing." It's not going to leave your mind, is it? You're still going to be thinking, trying to play with the kids, but in the end, you're thinking, "I fucking need a left back here. Who am I going to get?" Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All these things we just constantly.
It's not necessarily on your phone.
Just had a little shudder there when you said it.
You wouldn't have the mind space to do anything else.
Yeah,
really. And that's why the guys who've been in it all their years. You look at the likes of like Warnock and people like Allardyce. All these have been in for years and years and years. And Steve Bruce keep coming back in, getting battered everywhere they go, and they still just love it.
You got to have an understanding wife.
Yeah, moving all over the country.
Yeah. That was why I think we were never really below mid-table at Telford, which again for the budget was, we had that first obviously unbelievable year, but that was the joy really, because I'm a stone's throw from the ground. I could, and I run my own business. If I wanted to be there at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, I could. Whereas managers now, like Kev's going to be there Tuesday, Thursday, probably training at Lillishall for a couple of hours. Then on a Saturday, how much can you affect it? He'll be doing a lot of work over the phone, a lot of work trying to get. I imagine what he'll be trying to do now is he'll be trying to get the players that he's got on side, try and get a good 3 or 4 or 5 games out of them. Behind the scenes, he'll be trying to get a lot of them out, be trying to bring a lot of them in without trying to, blow him up here. But he's got good contacts. They're in the best hands possible. He's the one that could probably keep them in the league, I'd hope.
So basically, the first result Gav looks for on a Saturday.
yeah, apparently so. Yeah. No, I wish him all the best.
Gainsborough? You forgot about Gainsborough?
Oh yeah.
You haven't looked. So you don't look for Gainsborough results anymore.
To be honest, I would say I look for Shrewsbury. I look for Newcastle. After that, can't really think who else I'd look for. I wouldn't know. I had to look up where Tranmere are and where Northampton are, and I wouldn't know where Wrexham are. I certainly wouldn't know where Gainsborough are.
So it's just a job.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'd like to do it, but it's just all different people now, isn't it?
We had a good changing room at Gainsborough.
Yeah, it was class. We had great fun. I had great fun, but Yeah,
This is what I'm thankful to Sam for, because I was at Fleetwood and Sam called me and he was like, we need a centre half. And I think they were like, well, you're second from bottom at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't fancy that, mate. He's like, just come on loan. I was like, no. And then he's like, obviously the Brian Little thing. So I spoke to Brian and it was like, right, we can do it, obviously.
Brian Little was picking us up, driving us there.
We were driving to Stoke, weren't we?
Yeah, we drove to Stoke. I said, we'll have a right laugh.
He'd pick him up in the chairman's like massive Audi. So he was like, come on, me and you in the back of the motor, we'll have a right laugh.
Listen to Brian Little's stories about Dwight York. And
I was like, it's like, come on, let's go home. And Sam's going, we'll have one more. I go, nah, come on, mate, we'll go home. He's like, one more. It was that scenario. Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck it, come on in, we'll do it. I ran my business from the back of that car and then it was brilliant, wasn't it? Driving up there and then, people were going, how come you're going all the way up there? And I was like, have a guess. And then we had that luxury, but the changing room was really good. Like Lewis McMahon, Barnsley, Luke Waterfall, centre half. He's a young lad at the time. Used to hammer him.
So I don't know how Gainsborough doing. So if anybody wants to let me know. Anyway, anything else, lads?
Not from me.
I think that's good. I think the biggest thing we need to think about is this live event. We're going to plan for it now. It's going to be amazing. We want all the listeners to come. If we've got 3,000 listeners to this episode, we want them all to come.
Yeah, you won't all get in.
But you won't all get in.
Yeah, but listen, the support would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be I think the transparency is we've put ourselves out, haven't we? Hiring the
booked
venue. It's all done.
So if no one turns up, it's us three. We've got.
I tell you what, even if no one turns up,
we've got the whole place to ourselves.
We will literally have a right laugh, won't we? If no one turns up, we will have
the place to ourselves, haven't we?
So we can't really lose other than a few quid.
We're going to plan it all now, aren't we? But everyone's coming.
Mate, you just want to get onto this platter of sandwiches. That's all you're bothered about. Trying to wrap it up. Look.
I thought we'd finish your job interview for the next one.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I've got plenty more. Mate, don't worry about that.
And if anybody wants a copy of Gavin Cowan's CV, we can just drop us an email and we'll send that straight over.
Yeah.
Don't bother with Dave. He's not interested.
I know we're all laughing, but seriously.
Yeah. And we've just lost 10 listeners from Gainsborough because I've said I'm not interested anymore.
No, I love Gainsborough.
That's been a really successful episode.
I tell you who we need to. Peter Swan, the chairman. I think he went to Scunthorpe. He was a good guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was funny.
Absolutely wedged up to the eyeballs. I'd love to be able to tell the story of when he signed me, but it involves brown envelopes and that, so probably have to leave it.
Right, thanks very much for listening, everyone. Look out for the tickets. They'll be Gav's guaranteed. They're going to be
Dave's guranteed for week commencing the 7th.
Guaranteed week commencing the 7th.
2023.
If anybody wants to get in touch with Dave because they can't get a ticket, I'll post his phone number on Twitter.
Yeah, happy days. Enjoyed that.
Thanks very much to Budget Motors again. Brilliant. Thanks for your sponsorship. Best car dealership in Shrewsbury, Shropshire, Telford, Wellington,
Oswestry, Market Drayton. I'll tell you who's going to be at a live event, who I'm bringing out at a live event, Gavin van der Cowan. I'm bringing him out, mate, of course.
Oh, of course, 100%.
Welcome to the live event, of course. One thing we wanted to mention, TWS podcast.
Oh, what a podcast that is.
Love them guys. Flipping it. They smoke us, don't they? Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had some great guests.
That's disrespectful to our guests, isn't it?
We've had some great guests. Good ones. Yeah, but didn't who's the I forget now.
That Dave Edwards on?
Harry Redknapp.
I was their worst guest.
Yeah.
You look at the calibre of guest.
You're a relatively good name, Dave, but you just in terms of like content, you were poor.
Well, have a listen. TWS podcast.
Yeah.
Don't
background
listen to that. Don't listen to that instead of ours, though.
Listen to that as well.
Yeah.
Tettenwood School, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Specialist school based in the outside of Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
So some of the students take the podcast. It's fascinating. So
have a listen. It's TWS podcast, second best podcast around, isn't it?
Yeah, second. That's what they've been saying about us.
I think they're slightly better.
What?
Yeah. If you get Harry Redknapp, you got to have some pull, wouldn't you?
Dave's humility's annoying me. Like, we are better than them.
Yeah. We're gonna have a podcast off with them. Now, the Harry Redknapp one, I did listen to that one. That was very good. If anyone gets a chance to listen to their podcast with Harry Redknapp, that was really insightful, really impressive.
Give them a right plug there, haven't we? Yeah. Hope they give us a good plug on, and I'll be listening out for that.
Not sure what they say.
If they don't give us a good plug, we'd delete all of that. Right, thanks very much for listening.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye for now.
In the Stiffs with Budging Motors. Budging Motors are on Stafford Park in Telford and Featherbed Lane in Shrewsbury. For all your car needs, contact Budging now.